plumbing.
All right, so due to size of file, we are restarting the video. Plumbing. So the bathroom toilets, like as if the toilets would be anywhere else. Positive reading on a moisture meter for moisture at the base, indication wax ring seal failure and leak. Repair to prevent floor system damage, which may already be present but not visible. Didn't really see anything underneath. It's probably water sitting on the floor underneath the toilet, honestly. And that's very common. It's probably 9 out of 10 toilets. If I don't get a moisture reading, I'm surprised. But easy enough to pull the toilet, check around the flange. If it's all solid, you just put a new wax ring, put it back, make sure it seals proper. Both the master bathroom and the hall bathroom, the shower controls are not working properly. Very interesting. It turns, cold, mix, hot, no water, hot.
So
really
what's the
weird.
pause like?
The valve insert is probably upside down. I think that's probably all it's going to be. May even be like there's a little geared stop. If you take that off, take the handle off, and take the trim off, there's a little geared stop normally on those handles, and it's probably placed in the wrong spot. So it may be passing through the valve properly, then getting to a spot where it doesn't allow water through, and then continuing on to where it allows water again.
But you have hot and cold.
Oh yeah, so there is hot and cold. Actually, the valve probably isn't switched. It's probably the stop is in the wrong place on both of them. It's very odd to find those deficiencies because the plumbing, it's all new packs, it's all new PVC, and it all looks so well done. So I was kind of surprised to see that. The master bathroom sink stopper is sticking. So I got it to open back up, but you shouldn't have to pry it with something.
Right.
It's a spring loaded. You're supposed to click close, click open, and it click closed and wouldn't come back up. I had to pop it up with something. You shouldn't have to do that. Let's see, electrical. Some receptacles in the kitchen are not GFCI protected. That's a shock hazard in the wet area, though not required when the house was built, obviously. Probably when the house was redone, it was okay. But actually, there is one within 6 feet of the sink on, to the left. It should definitely be GFCI protected. But an electrician can fix that easily.
Were there any GFCIs in there? Okay.
It's weird. There's one to the right,
okay,
but not to the left. And they probably put that one in to try and protect the whole circuit, and they put it in the wrong spot. That happens. It could be that it just needs to be moved to be the first one in the line, and then it'll protect everything downstream. Let's see. But that's to test and reset shock protection receptacles if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about. There are a few receptacles that are noted as open ground. Now, this house probably originally had 2-prong duplex receptacles that were ungrounded. The majority of the electrical in this house is brand spanking new. You look at that panel, it's all Romex. That's one of the reasons why I think it was taken down to the studs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised to find any receptacles that are open ground, but it's possible because of where they are that they couldn't fish a new wire to it, and there's a junction somewhere for it. But basically, if you change out a duplex receptacle with a ground style, it's supposed to be GFCI protected and marked as no mechanical ground, and that does not appear to be the case. In the grand scheme of things, it's still going to work. I don't know how big of a deal I would make of that. Honestly, I just had to note it. Master bathroom exhaust fan is not working, so the fan's not turning. Multiple closet lights are not installed and wired correctly. Basically what they did, and I'll bring this picture up so that we can see it and zoom in. What they did was they installed this strip light here. I don't need AI. Man, Anyway, they installed the strip light here, and what they did was they brought this cord around and into the box, and it was probably a plug-in light, and you're not supposed to use plug cord wire in boxes as a junction. If they wanted to do this, they should have mounted a receptacle right here, attached to the power in the box, and just plug it in.
Right.
Is what they should have done. And that's in multiple closets.
Okay.
Okay. And you know what? It'll probably never be a problem. It'll probably be, it's probably not truly unsafe, but it's technically not correct. So I have to note that. All right, so I did note some tripped breakers in the panel. They're most likely going to the compressor outside for the heating and air, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The rear right bedroom ceiling fan, this one, is noisy. Would have been nice to have the fan running as I was sitting here typing the report, but it sounded like it was going to come down on my head. So I turned it off. You probably want to replace that fan. All right, heating and air. And I believe y'all already know about this, but the heat is not working. At least the compressor outside is not turning both in heat or cool. It is a heat pump system. It is not heating and cooling with a heat pump. It is heating in auxiliary. So, but it goes in auxiliary the minute you turn it up. So it is heating, but there is no auxiliary cool, obviously. You have to have a compressor for air conditioning. So it's not heating correctly, not cooling correctly. The air filter is dirty. Shocker, they're always dirty. But that's an easy thing to do. But yeah, definitely need heat and air guy to figure out what's up with the heat pump system.
They're coming tomorrow.
Right on time. But do remember what I said about that breaker. Technically it works that way, but it should be a double pole to be 100% correct.
Is that pole, P-U-L-L or P-O-L-E?
Double pole.
Pole, okay.
P-O-L-E.
Okay.
Double pole breakers. Let's see. So multiple doors in the house that don't latch, rub the jambs, or rub the floor have malfunctioning or missing hardware, including exterior doors, which the front doors missing the plate for the deadbolt where it goes in on the strike, and just need to be adjusted for proper function. Just check all the doors and whatever adjustment it needs, just do that. The master bathroom closet bifold door is missing hardware. The top hinge pin, yeah. Opened that up, folded up, and fell right in my face. So yeah, came out of the track. So that needs a piece of hardware replaced and put back in the track. I just folded it up and slid it into the closet. I wasn't going to try and monkey with it. I mean, without a pin to go into the corner piece of the hinge, it wasn't going to work anyway. This is just an old house note, a couple old house notes, okay? Ceiling and wall cracks in various locations and dips and sags in the floor, potential indications of settlement. It's also a potential indication of an 86-year-old home. Plus, the house has had repairs, which quite possibly would have cracked the sheetrock. A lot of the cracks I'm seeing are straight up and down or side to side, probably sheetrock tape joints and more cosmetic in nature. But you're going to have dips and sags in an old house floor. It just, especially when you have additions, it just is what it is. Kind of the, what's the word I'm looking for? The charm, the character of the house, the character of the house. But yeah, if you're going to buy something 1938, you better be prepared for some dips and sags. Master bathroom window lock noted as broken. This was awesome. It was broken, like the handle.
Yeah.
They just glued it
closed
with like silicone.
Okay.
They stuck and I tried to like lock the window and it came off in my hand. I was like, stuck it back up there. But yeah, but that hardware is easy to replace. They make that model window hardware is easy to come by. Some door stops noted as broken or missing. Sounds silly, but if there's no door stop, a door can swing around, bust a hole in the wall, should have a door stop. Let's see. There's also water stains and elevated moisture meter readings at the back door on either side of the casing, indication of moisture intrusion, potential for hidden damages and health concerns. That's the statement the board would want me to make. So here's the back door, and I got moisture meter reading here and here, and you can see some of the staining and discoloration there. So there's probably moisture coming through right here.
Is
Of course.
it the door right here?
Yeah, the door at the end of the hall. So that might be from where that wood is wet on the outside. Of course, there is a storm door over this door.
Yep.
So, and I don't know how long it's been there. It doesn't look very old, but that may remedy that a little bit. So, yeah, it might be coming through.
What is this? The area right here?
Yeah, that's where that wet wood is that I was talking about on the exterior section.
Can you pull that? Sorry, I'm one-handed. There you go.
That's weird. It wasn't sticking like that earlier. Okay, let's see. And I think we are almost done. Yeah, last item, typical. The range does not have its anti-tip device, which is just a bracket that goes on the floor and the wall behind the range and grabs the foot and holds it down in case the child was to climb on the range, open the door, stand on it or whatever. It doesn't tip over on them, which Emily will tell you this is like 99.95% of houses. If we find one, we're shocked and amazed. But that's a easy thing to buy at the Lowe's or Home Depot and put in. Generally, they have a universal that'll go on the floor, and you just slide it back, and it slides the foot in, and it holds it down. But that is everything. In the grand scheme of things, certainly no red flag runaway screamers. Does it need some love? Sure. What house doesn't? I don't walk out of new home inspections without finding stuff. Even new construction has a list. But other than the heating and air, and the water heater does have some age on it. I mean, it's working and it doesn't look bad.
Her brother works for Wall Turner. That's how
Oh,
we all connected. He's the one
Well,
that's
there you
coming
go.
over tomorrow.
yeah, well, you can
To
check out the whole kit and caboodle.
Yep.
Because they do it all. But yeah, I mean, newer roof, heating and air is newer. Get it working. You know, it's a winter. Water heater's working fine. I mean, there's really nothing red flag, runaway screaming, to the report at all. It's all very typical stuff. It's actually pretty doggone good condition considering its age. There's been a lot of improvements made. I don't know. Fix some stuff up, and I think it's a pretty solid house, honestly.
perfect. Thank you.
Indeed.